Welcome back, explorers, and lace up your boots, because today we are hiking through Long Lake Regional Park in New Brighton, Minnesota. The trail hugs a calm lake, winds through Cottonwoods, and passes a beach that fills with families all summer long. It looks like a peaceful pocket of suburbia, and it is. But this quiet green space sits on top of one of the wildest boomtown stories in the whole Twin Cities. So let us walk, and let us dig into it together. First, let us get our bearings. New Brighton sits in Ramsey County, tucked just north of Minneapolis and St. Paul, right where the two big cities blur into their northern suburbs. It is a compact city of a few square miles, laced with small lakes and wetlands left behind by ancient glaciers. Interstate highways now frame it on several sides, making it an easy hop from downtown. But long before freeways, it was the railroad that put this little spot squarely on the map. Ramsey County is the smallest county in Minnesota by land area, yet one of the most densely settled. New Brighton grew up along its northern edge, in a landscape of rolling glacial hills, marshes, and shallow lakes. That watery, rail-crossed terrain shaped everything that followed here, flat enough to lay track, wet enough to water livestock, and close enough to the cities to matter. Geography, as we will see, was destiny. Back on the trail, the path slips into a corridor of cottonwoods and oaks. The air cools, the lake peaks between the trunks, and you can hear red-winged blackbirds calling from the reeds. This is exactly the kind of scenery that draws walkers, joggers, and stroller-pushing families out here every day. Take a breath of that lake air. It is hard to imagine the noise and hustle that once filled this same ground. So why New Brighton? The name echoes across the ocean and across the country. There is the famous seaside resort town of Brighton in England, with its grand pier and pebble beach, and there is Brighton, Massachusetts, once a major cattle market town near Boston. Historians link New Brighton's name to that Eastern heritage, carried west by settlers and boosters. It was a hopeful, aspirational name for a young community betting on big things. Long before any town charter, this land was home to the Dakota people, who lived across the lakes and prairies of this region for generations. The waterways here were travel routes and gathering places, woven into a much older story of the land. We honor that heritage as we walk, and we tread these shores with respect. The lakes you see today carried life and meaning here long before a single rail was laid. The trees give way, and suddenly the full lake spreads out beside us. Cattails nod along the shoreline, dragonflies stitch the air, and the water throws back a bright sheet of sky. Long Lake is the heart of this park, a place to paddle, fish, or simply sit and watch the light move. It is postcard calm now, but rewind about 140 years and this whole district was about to explode with ambition. In the 1880s, the railroad came to this corner of Ramsey County, and everything changed. Rail lines meant you could move animals, goods, and people at a speed that reshaped the map overnight. Investors looked at New Brighton's location, its rail access, and its open land, and they saw a golden opportunity. Where the tracks went, money followed. And here, that money was betting on cattle, hogs, and the roar of a stockyard. Here is the twist that surprises almost everyone. In the 1880s, New Brighton became a booming stockyards town. The Minnesota Stockyards Company set up operations here, and pens filled with cattle, hogs, and sheep shipped in by rail from across the region. For a brief, dazzling moment, this modest suburb was a serious player in the livestock trade. The quiet park you are walking through was once ringing with the sounds of a frontier boomtown. Pause here a second and just listen. Lapping water, rustling reeds, maybe a distant dog on the trail. Now picture the exact opposite. Bellowing cattle, hissing steam engines, shouting drovers, and the clatter of loading chutes. That was the soundtrack of this district in its boom years. The contrast is almost dizzying. It is one of my favorite things about exploring a place, finding the roar hidden beneath the calm. Where there are stockyards, meatpacking follows. Packing houses and related industries sprang up to process the animals arriving by rail, turning New Brighton into a small industrial engine on the prairie's edge. Jobs drew workers, workers drew shops and homes, and a raw new town took shape around the pens and the packing floors. It was gritty, hard work, the kind that built countless American towns in that era. And for a while, business was very good. With industry humming, New Brighton took on that classic boomtown energy. New streets were platted, buildings went up, and boosters talked big about the city's shining future. Speculators bought land hoping the growth would never stop. There was a swagger to the place, a sense that this little livestock hub might just become something huge. Boomtowns run on optimism, and in these years New Brighton had it in abundance. Our trail lifts onto a boardwalk that carries us over the wetland, reeds brushing the rails on either side. It is a lovely, meditative stretch and a good place to think about how much a landscape can hold. Under all this greenery lies the memory of chutes and rail spurs and packing sheds. Nature has quietly reclaimed the boomtown, yet the story is not gone. It is preserved and even celebrated right here in the park. For a short time, New Brighton stockyards actually rivaled those of South St. Paul, the region's other great livestock center. Two towns, two sets of pens, both chasing the same booming market. It was a genuine competition for the crown of Twin Cities cattle country. But rivalries have winners and losers, and the livestock trade was consolidating fast. South St. Paul had advantages that would prove hard to beat over the long run. Amid all this hustle, New Brighton officially incorporated as a village in 1891. That milestone gave the growing community its own local government, its own identity on the map, and a formal place in Minnesota's story. A charter, a council, and a name that would outlast the boom. Incorporation is a town saying, "We are here, we are staying." And New Brighton was indeed here to stay, even as its industry would soon shift beneath its feet. The path curves past the park's swimming beach now, a bright crescent of sand where kids splash and towels dot the grass. Lifeguard chairs, a gentle slope into the water, the smell of sunscreen in the summer air. It is one of the most beloved spots in New Brighton, and an easy place to spend a whole afternoon. From a livestock capital to a family swimming hole, this ground has worn a lot of different hats. So what happened to the great New Brighton stockyards? Like many boomtown industries, they did not last. The livestock trade concentrated in larger centers, South St. Paul chief among them, and the pens here gradually emptied and closed. The roar faded, the packing houses quieted, and the town had to find a new path forward. It is the age-old boomtown lesson. The rush that builds a place fast rarely stays forever, and reinvention becomes the name of the game. Where the stockyards cooled, green things grew back. Today a meadow of grasses and wildflowers rolls beside our trail, humming with bees and butterflies. It is a gentle reminder that landscapes are resilient, and so are communities. New Brighton did not vanish when the boom ended. It simply began the long, steady work of becoming something new. And a fresh chapter was about to arrive, driven this time not by cattle but by world events. During World War II, a massive facility called the Twin Cities Army Ammunition Plant rose in neighboring Arden Hills, just next door to New Brighton. Sprawling across a huge tract of land, it produced ammunition for the war effort and brought a wave of jobs and activity to the whole area. For nearby New Brighton, the plant reshaped the local economy and drew new workers and families. War had turned this quiet district into a hub of wartime industry once again. The ammunition plant employed thousands during the war years, including many women who stepped into factory roles while men served overseas. It was demanding, precise, and vital work. That surge of employment rippled outward, boosting housing, services, and the sense that this northern suburb was part of something historic. When the war ended, the plant's role would shrink over the decades, but its imprint on the region's growth was lasting and profound. Back at the water, a couple of kayaks slice quietly across Long Lake, leaving long silver ripples behind them. Anglers try their luck from the shoreline, and a heron stalks the shallows on stilt-thin legs. This is the New Brighton of today, a place built around outdoor calm and easy access to nature. The wartime plants and stockyards are history now. What endures is this, a community that treasures its lakes and green spaces. In the post-war decades, New Brighton settled into its modern identity as a comfortable residential suburb. New neighborhoods filled in, schools and parks were built, and families put down roots in this leafy corner of Ramsey County. The Boomtown drama gave way to quiet streets, local shops, and a strong sense of community. Today it is home to well over 20,000 people who enjoy that rare mix of city convenience and small-town calm. Our trail bends along a low wooded ridge, the lake shining below through gaps in the trees. It is a gentle, rolling walk, the kind that clears your head after a long week. Every so often an interpretive sign appears, inviting hikers to learn a piece of the local story. That is one of the things I love about this park. It does not hide its history. It hands it right to you mid-hike. Near the beach stands one of the park's signature landmarks, a historic-style pavilion overlooking the water. With its open sides and welcoming roof, it is a favorite gathering spot for picnics, reunions, and lazy summer evenings. Structures like this give a park its heart, a place to meet, to shelter from a sudden shower, or simply to watch the sun sink over the lake. It ties the whole waterfront together beautifully. The park is also home to a nature and history center, and this is where New Brighton's tale really comes alive. Exhibits here tell the story of the old stockyards and the Boomtown days, right alongside displays about the local wildlife and wetlands. It is a wonderful two-for-one, natural history and human history under one roof. If you visit, start here. It turns an ordinary walk into a genuine journey through time. The trail dips toward a marshy inlet thick with cattails, where ducks paddle among the reeds and frogs plop into the shallows. Wetlands like this are the unsung heroes of a healthy lake, filtering water and sheltering wildlife. Stand still for a moment and the marsh comes alive with tiny sounds and sudden splashes. It is easy to see why New Brighton fights to protect these spaces. They are the living lungs of the whole park. Long Lake's beach has been a summer magnet for generations of New Brighton families. Picture the classic scene, sandcastles and beach towels, the shriek of kids racing into the cool water, and the smell of a picnic drifting on the breeze. In a city with such an industrious past, this simple joy feels well-earned. It is proof that the best legacy a Boomtown can leave is a place where people love to gather. Beyond the swimmers, Long Lake is a thriving little ecosystem. Bass and panfish cruise its waters, turtles bask on half-sunk logs, and herons and egrets patrol the edges for a meal. Migrating birds use these lakes and wetlands as rest stops on their long seasonal journeys. For anglers, birders, and paddlers, it is a small paradise hidden in plain sight. This living water is the true centerpiece of everything around us. Now the trail leads us deepest into the woods, where tall trees close overhead into a green cathedral. The light goes soft and gold, footsteps go quiet on the packed earth, and the busy world feels very far away. Trails like this one connect into a wider web of parks and paths across the Twin Cities suburbs. You could walk for miles. But for now, let us just enjoy this cool cathedral hush. The woodlands around Long Lake are a slice of the great northern forest reaching into the suburbs. Oaks, maples, cottonwoods, and basswoods shelter deer, foxes, owls, and countless songbirds right on the edge of the metro. These urban forests do quiet, essential work, cooling the air, cleaning it, and giving both people and wildlife room to breathe. Protecting them is one of the smartest things a growing city can do, and New Brighton knows it. Let us give the humble cattail its moment of glory. These tall marsh plants are wildlife superstars, offering food and shelter to birds, muskrats, and insects, while their roots hold the shoreline firm. Generations of people have used cattails for everything from weaving to insulation. Next time you pass a stand of them swaying by the water, give a little nod. They are doing more good than almost any plant you will meet on the trail. Keep your eyes to the sky around here and you may be rewarded. Red-winged blackbirds flash their scarlet shoulders, hawks ride the thermals, and in the right season you might spot herons, egrets, or a flash of bright warblers passing through. This mosaic of lake, marsh, and forest makes New Brighton a genuine little wildlife haven. For a suburb so close to two big cities, that abundance of life is a real and precious gift. Our loop is bringing us back toward where we started, the lake now glowing in that soft late-day light. What a journey this has been, from a roaring Stockyards Boomtown to a wartime arsenal on its doorstep, to this gentle, green, family-loving suburb. New Brighton wears its layers well, hiding a big, surprising history beneath a very peaceful surface. That is the magic of really looking at a place. There is always more than meets the eye. So the next time someone tells you a quiet suburb has no story, send them to New Brighton, Minnesota. A booming livestock capital, a proud 1891 town, a wartime workhorse, and now a lakeside haven with a beach, a pavilion, and trails like this one. If you enjoyed exploring it with me, do hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss the next adventure. Thank you for hiking along, and I will see you on the next trail.